Gaara just happens to be one of his lucky practice partners. So I wonder how that's gonna affect the match. Will they be trying to like mind game each other throughout the series?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you always play with a certain person, then you want to like do something out of the ordinary, especially when the tournament is online, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, we're gonna see a first match here. Nobody's gonna coup, and this yeah, we're just gonna start the games right away. Kolento is gonna coin out a mistress here,
Mhm.
which is
Gaara, unfortunately, he does not draw wild growth. So what a poor druid player, right?
yeah, it's pretty bad. The skills, right? I mean, I actually calculate the percentages chance of like drawing a good card, and it's around 22% if it goes second.
Hmm.
Um, that you, 22% that you actually get something good, right? Yeah. So that's wait, no. 22% that you miss. So it's like 78% that chance that you get something good. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
Sorry.
pretty good.
Yeah, it is
So,
pretty good.
yeah, Shade obvious play on turn three.
Hmm.
Does Kolento want to develop more with the Earthring Farseer, or is he looking to tap more? What do you think, Amaz?
To be honest, I'm actually not familiar with the Demon Lock deck at all. I think it doesn't play like a handlock too much, so like I guess the problem with tapping is that he might tap into another demon, so the Void Caller doesn't pull out the Doom Guard. So I think playing the Farseer was good there.
Also, I think by healing his Mistress of Pain, he kind of gets it out of range of the Shade for this turn. So
Right.
maybe he's thinking of that. Maybe he wants to just preserve his Mistress of Pain, have it be more annoying in the future.
Yeah, I guess it also pushes it out of Wrath range, but
Hmm.
then the Farseer will get Wrath. I'm pretty sure that Gar, if given a choice, wouldn't actually clear the Mistress if it wasn't healed with the Shade. Just gonna
Hmm.
leave it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Gaara probably is not going to want to develop the Kazan Mystic right now. It's kind of the same effect as using the Wrath this turn, to be honest. If he plays the Kazan Mystic this turn, it'll just get traded into with the Earthring Farseer. So both these plays, they clear the Earthring Farseer, essentially, and this play that he chose, he lets him use a hero power, which lets him damage the Mistress of Pain back to 3 HP once again.
Oh man, this Void Caller is gonna be so big. It's one of those cards where if you silence it, then your opponent is still holding a demon, right? So it's like, oh my god, this or it's just this pesky card. Oh
Oh,
wow,
Floating
Floating
Watch.
Watcher as well.
I guess you still want the Doom Guard to be popped out of the Void Caller, but Floating Watcher still isn't bad. If cool thing about Floating Watcher and it's a combo with Void Caller is that you can tap on the same turn you play Void Call or that you play Floating Watcher, if it's turn 5, if you get it out of the Void Caller. So
Right.
what the
But
Floating Watcher can come out this turn, he can tap and just make it a 6/6. That's pretty great.
but isn't this a really good turn? You can use Abusive Sergeant
Mhm.
on the Void Caller and just
Shadow
clear the
Flame.
Shadow Flame. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's pretty insane. I think Ash Kolento wants the Doom Guard to pop out here. That would be the best. Oh my god, look at the tempo swing here. Oh!
Oh.
That is brutal. That is so brutal. How does Drew even deal with a 5/7 at turn 5?
Yeah, against Zoo, usually the Doom Guard is the strongest card in the Zoo deck, but this isn't even the strongest card. This is just like one of the cards that Gaara has to deal with. So even if he eventually deals with that, there's going to be another threat coming afterwards.
Kalento's secret weapon. Man, this is just so brutal. Like Druids are not a class that comes back from a losing advantage losing board, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Drew just doesn't have many board clears in their arsenal. They have Swipe, but what's that going to do against like a 5/7 Doom Guard, right?
oh, you called the swipe pretty nice.
Oh.
Oh man.
Mm.
So here, Kolento, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna. If he plays Sylvanas, he just dies, right? But still, your opponent needs to remove it.
I feel like Sylvanas is an okay play. Normally, you don't want to play it against the quote-unquote empty board, but in
Hmm.
this scenario, I think against Druid especially, like how does Druid deal with the Sylvanas, right? The best that they can deal with it is with a 6 mana counterplay, the Wrath or the Swipe plus the Hero Power or the Swipe plus the Wrath. So it's at worst, I guess you're gonna get a 6 mana for 6 mana trade.
Okay.
Like, and in this scenario, like if he chose the Keeper and silence the Sylvanas, it wouldn't even be that good at all because the 5/5 body of the Sylvanas can trade fairly easily into the 2/4 body of the Keeper, right?
It does make sense too because yeah, I thought he was just gonna go for face with Doomguard, but I forgot that Doomguard could also clear the Zon
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's obviously better.
Mhm.
So now it's pretty tricky for Gaara. Gonna look for more answers and also put a creature that can contest both. And combos in hand though. I might
Oh,
see something, but
Direwolf Alpha. That's actually not a card that we see very often from
but
this demon lock.
before that happens, this is gonna be crazy. Oh my god! But hey, we have a mind control tech. That might do something, right?
Yeah, if you can steal the Sylvanas, that'll be pretty great for Gaara.
So steal Sylvanas, swipe a creature. Right,
Oh,
because-
you're saying that as if like mind control tech will definitely steal Sylvanas.
right?
No.
No.
Aw.
But still, like that Dark Iron plus BGH play is just insane. That is just insane.
That's actually like definitely the worst target that he could have stolen. If you got the Sylvanas, it would have been great. If you got the Doomguard, it could have charged into something. And if you got the
Swear.
Dark Iron Dwarf, it would have been a stronger body.
Oh my god, that's just terrible for Gaara. But just
Well,
gotta work with what you have.
At least Gaara, even though he might be on low HP against his opponent's stronger board, I guess at least he has a card advantage right now. So maybe he can leverage that into something in the next couple of turns, assuming that he doesn't die.
Well, card advantage against a warlock doesn't really mean anything. You can just use hero power and kind of balance that out. Looking at this board, Kolento can actually trade for the Fortune and get the mind control tech back. Or
He's actually
push
he's
for
actually
damage.
1 damage off lethal with the Direwolf Alpha in his hand.
Right.
So he needs to,
Push for damage, right?
if he like drew a Dark Bomb or like a Hellfire or anything like that, or an Abusive or a Dark Iron Dwarf, which I'm sure this deck has, he would have gotten lethal.
Right. Well, if you don't clear your opponent's board, you don't die to combo either. But it's just really really good here. So yeah, Kolento and Gaara just trading minions here back and forth. Kolento chose to do that instead. Because he could have floating watcher then tapped instead, right?
But he was just looking for lethal, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Still, the Druid is so low and he doesn't develop anything this turn. So Kolento can just... Well, not the best hand to develop anything, to be honest.
Does he
Yeah.
actually play the Zombie Chow ever? Like, this is a situation where you're so close to lethaling your opponent that the Zombie Chow just might be just better for your opponent rather than for you.
Right. So, no. Probably
Okay.
not.
Ooh, more
Whoa.
board clears.
More board clears. Exactly what Gaara needed right now. Does the Demon Lock deck in Kolento run out of steam like around like now? Just there's just so many cards that buff up stuff, right?
Yeah, he's running like a slightly lower curve than, say, Silent Demon Lock deck, I guess. He's running like a lot of buff cards like Abusive Sergeant, like Direwolf Alpha, and I guess Dark Iron Dwarf that Silent Storm's deck doesn't run. So I guess he's cut a lot of the higher end, like Mal'Ganis, maybe Jiraxis, but I'm pretty sure Kolento still has Jiraxis in this deck.
Lotion is a good card, and that kind of sucks. Well, Gaara's like, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
My shield for Argus.
Okay, and pushing for that 1 damage. Ever the closer to lethal. Keeper. Wow. That's another board. Not quite.
This is still pretty awkward for Gaara, how to clear this board. He has a 4-attack minion on the board, but it's going to be hard for that 4-attack minion to like, get its full value.
Well, if the Shredder pops like a spell power, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that...
no
that-
matter what your Shredder hits, it's gonna die anyway, so it might as well die first, right? Do you think is there any card that screws up your plays right now? Not really. Mana Wraith, I guess. That's really it.
Mana Wraith. Doomsayer would be
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Doomsayer would be really weird.
Doomsayer is always really weird, no matter in what situation. If Doomsayer pops out, you have to like completely reconsider your play.
Oh, Gaara's gonna go for the swipe first.
Time waits for no one.
Yeah, I would have actually. I guess it's kind of a risk versus reward thing. I don't even know the risk if it's high enough, but no. Gaara's just gonna do that, clear the board, and you can clear the board with the hero power first.
Yeah.
And
So
of course, you
he's-
kill the mistress, right?
yeah, you want to kind of play around Demon Heart.
Yeah, for fear of that card. I don't even think Demon Heart is actually in Kolento's deck.
Yeah, probably not.
Doesn't Doesn't feel
Judging,
like it's.
judging
Like,
from the previous iterations of Demon Lock that he's brought to tournaments, for example, the Demon Lock that he brought to Kingwin for Charity, Winter 2015, that one, it looked very similar to this deck, but it did not have a Demon Heart. I think the Demon Heart is like a Dark Wanic special, to be honest.
sure. But now look at Kalento's. It's kind of awkward now. Yeah. You
If
don't want to
only,
play the Zombie Chow. Creeper is really much the only choice here. You can Dark Bomb the Murloc, I guess. But if you Dark Bomb the Murloc, you might as well just play Floating Watcher, right?
yeah, if only he had the Floating Watcher the previous turn, he could have tapped to make it a 6/6. These Floating Watchers from Kolento are just being played as vanilla 4/4s now, not getting the full value that he really wants.
Yep. So Dark Bomb plus Floating Watcher most likely gonna base this actually more or less threatens lethal. Weirdly enough.
Oh wow!
Another chance.
So Gaara can try to risk Kolento, and well, he can't even risk anything because if Kolento just taps, he makes his Floating Watcher a 6/6.
But you just have to like Hero Power plus Spectral Knight, for example.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah.
that feels
Alright.
really bad though.
Yeah.
And knowing
I
that
think Gaara is all
Kolento-
swipes.
Knowing that Kolento's deck runs so many like buffs, I think you have to go for the Wild Growth, hoping to draw something. You draw into something nice, and that is indeed something nice.
Ooh! Wow, without that, Gaara would have lost already. The Argus is a buff, like you said.
Void Caller a bit late too, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, here's another weird play. I mean, you don't want to Argus the Watcher. That would kind of suck.
Yeah, especially since we know that Gaara has BGH in his hand. Do you just
Yeah.
Creeper and then Argus the Creeper? That feels like such a weird play.
I want to play the Zombie Chow here. Like, I think it's fine to. Wait, is it fine to check? Just Argus the Creeper or Argus the Zombie Chow as well, right?
Okay, that's another play. But if you go for that play, that kind of means you're giving up your potential to end the game in the next 1 or 2 turns.
Right, but
And
I'm pretty
fighting
sure that
for the
Kolento.
game.
Kalento's probably playing Hellfire in this deck, right? And Hellfire is like a very, very good card with Ancient Watcher, right? You push for like 5 damage. It's pretty insane. Yeah, I like that. And, well, I don't think Gaara has a way to deal with this, and I think this is it. Game 1 is going to go to Kalento's very, very interesting Zooey demon deck that, yeah.
Yeah, these demon decks are really fun. They're so common these days, but they're all so different from each other. And I feel like this is one of the decks that really makes Hearthstone fun. You have this hero power that kind of has weird interactions with all your cards, such as the Floating Watcher. Yeah, Gaara just gives up. Nothing he can really do here.
Right. Well, good job, Kolento. Kolento wins the first game, and yeah, Guard still needs to deal with this demon. Like, I guess he can use the coup to just ban it out if he thinks it's just too much or too much of a headache to like Warrior. And yeah, Kolento's gonna actually play this matchup out.
Oh, interesting. No coup.
So maybe if Gar wins this matchup and Kolento's Q's a Druid, then Gar's just gonna coup it out, right? That's also pretty good.
All right. I think this is a matchup where you want to get the Armor Smith out ASAP because you really want the board control as soon as possible against like Mistresses and Zombie Chows. Although you do have the double Fiery War Axe.
Right. And I think it's also interesting that Kolento can also play more of a handlock against the warrior as well, right? Yeah, the Twilight Drake is basically replaced by the Void Caller, which is like super strong. We don't see a lot of warriors running silence nowadays, but yeah, you can't expect Gar to just run a silence right at turn 4.
Another thing that the Armor Smith does is set up for this, the Fire War Axe plus Armor Smith attack into the Mistress. So that's kind of like a free Mistress skill.
Pretty good. And
Really?
yeah, that's a lot of weapons in Gar's hand. He plays Gorehowl as well. So he's probably playing 5 weapons with a double Despite.
You see a Spellbreaker in Gar's hand. That's like not a card we see often. It used to be pretty much only owls that were in the Warlock's deck. But I feel like the Spellbreaker instead of the owl in this particular meta is alright. Because previously you mainly used owls, or a large part of the reason you played owls was against Hunter on turn 2, where you wanted to silence the Undertaker. It's just one more option to stop the Undertaker aggression. But now that Undertaker isn't a huge thing, more and more players are beginning to run Spellbreakers and owls in their or Spellbreakers over owls and their paladins and warriors now, and a 4 on the implosion. Wow.
Yeah, how's the 6-0 implosion for you? At least guard or something. I guess you can also equip the Despite there if and just hit the face. So, yeah. Kolento here, turn 6. Well, the Direwolf with the implosion is actually really good. Power Overwhelming is also a play. Lots of options, really.
Yeah, I guess the Direwolf, along with these 4 implosion creatures, clear the Belcher straight up.
Yep. And then it's your choice of developing more stuff, drawing more cards, and
I like to point out this Gorehowl in Gaara's hand. I think that card is going to be very crucial to defeating this Demon Lock. There's just
it does chop out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can chop down like Doom Guards even. You can chop down the Floating Watchers. It just gives a lot of survivability against this type of deck. And also, Gorehowl is like the one card that's really good against Druids sometimes if you can survive the combo damage. And we might be even seeing Gaara not coup the Druid if it comes to that.
Yeah, maybe. It's pretty scary. I think he still will. I think he still will. So, Despot's gonna come down here, of course, kill the Wolf. Wolf is actually pretty deadly. It's pretty much a knife juggler. And follow up the armor up. And Kolento's response? Probably Ancient Watcher tap. That would be pretty insane.
Yeah, this is kind of like the weakness of Kolento's Demon Lock deck. He's gonna run out of threats soon. It's almost has the card density of a zoo deck. So he's played these Haunted Creepers, these Nerubian Eggs, but after that, there's not much else in this deck right now that he can draw into.
All right. Well, it's still very scary because if we look at the Sylvanas Power Warming, that's basically a 7-mana mind control. Gaara has a very easy way of dealing with this Watcher, and bloop, it's dead. Wow.
Is that really the shield slam sound effect? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It is? Okay. I believe you.
It's an April 1st sound effect. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Argus is pretty good right now.
Get in there and fight, maggot. My shield.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Okay, I guess he just wants to make Deathspite a bit more awkward. It can't like completely kill off the creeper and get full value.
Oh yeah, this is super awkward. Definitely. Whoa.
Oh.
Is
All
Gaara
right.
gonna launch the... Oh, wow, he's just gonna play Dr. Boom pass. Okay, just keep the Deathspite. I guess it doesn't really do much, right? If you attack with it here. So,
He's hoping that these boombots somehow clear off the taunts in a way that his Deathspite will be able to gain more value next turn.
sure, but man, I have a very hard time picturing how much burst Kolento has in his deck, right? I mean, there's so many abusives and power overwhelmings that. Actually, you know what? Maybe Kolento doesn't run Hellfire. You're playing such a zoo style that you just don't want to nuke the board, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. We've seen one Shadow Flame so far,
Yeah.
and I guess that's a little better in this deck when you're combining it with Void Callers. It's kind of
and
a combo
abusive
that-
and Dark Iron. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Uh.
You know, back in the day before GVG came out, some players actually ran Abusive Sergeant and Handlock.
Yeah, it was actually fine. I think I think we might see that back again. There was Voodoo Doctor in a Handlock too.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
All the shenanigans to just counter hunters. BGH. Not exactly what you want to see. Gaara used probably his only silence on the Void Caller just now. And yeah, this Sylvanas is going to be very annoying. What to do?
Gaara can clear off some of this board, but he's not going to be able to deal with this Sylvanas effectively at all. He kind of needs like a I guess like a brawl to deal with it eventually.
Right.
And we're seeing like the zoo effect of this deck right now. There's just so many minions that that's a
that's
bad
not good. Oh my god, that's not good. You see Gaara shaking his head there. Wait, what if you crew Taskmaster and just BGH the Sylvanas and pray? Praying is good.
Okay.
Oh, no? Okay.
That's actually a decent play because Kolento probably doesn't have any BGHable targets in his deck
Right.
right now. Equipping a Gorehal is nice though. You'll be able to deal with like some threat next turn unless an Argus comes out again. But no Argus in Kolento's hand.
Yeah, Colento's hand is just like an arena draft right now, right? It's like all these random cards that don't really make sense, but it's been working out for him so far. And yeah, it's definitely very weird.
I guess
you
Gaara-
just kill off the Dr. Boom, right?
Yeah, you don't really want to trade your Sylvanas into it. That's like kind of more of a threat card that you want your opponent to deal with next turn. I mean, he'll be able to deal with it easily. Whoa.
But oh,
Oh.
pushing the damage. Oh wow.
I'd really not thought about this play.
And I think that is actually a very, very good play. It's just for lethal next turn. Wow, this is genius. And now, even though Gaara is holding, 19 damage right now, that's not lethal. So, if you don't have lethal, you have to clear the board.
I think what you have to do now is BGH the Dr. Boom, attack into the Void Caller and Shield Maiden. That uses up most of your mana, but you also have to hope that Kolento doesn't have another demon in his hand right now. And that's kind
Yeah, you say that because we know that
Yeah.
Kolento doesn't have a demon. But if I was in Gaara position, I would just clear the 2/2. I guess the threat of another demon, like a floating watcher, is just too much.
that makes sense.
Oh man. Man, that was so painful. The Sylvanas hit for like 1,000,000 damage there. It's just ouch.
Yeah, like you said, Sylvanas plus Power Overwhelming. That's just a 7 mana mind control.
That hits for 12? That's a Pyro Blast and a mind control.
That sounds pretty good. That's like 20 mana of value for 7.
Right.
All right, we're gonna see how risky or how lucky Gaara feels. Is he gonna go for the Defender of Argus or the Void Caller? He's mulling over this decision right now.
Yeah, he's probably playing Shield Maiden after this, right? I plays it
Oh,
first.
he plays it first. Interesting.
Is he not gonna hit anything? You don't want a free kill, Gaara? No. Whoa. No free kill.
Okay.
I mean, one of the reasons I guess is to preserve the extra attack on the face with Grommash, but I don't think I like that too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is, and we can see Gaara emoted that was an error.
Right.
Kolento might play a bit defensively now with the anti-heal bot because he sees that Gaara saved one charge of his Gorehowl, I guess.
Yeah, something's fishy going on, right? Shadow Flame on the abusive. And yeah, that gets him out of the Grommash range. That's really the most damage a warrior can output, right? So yeah.
So because Gaara didn't decide to even clear the Defender of Argus, that Defender of Argus basically got 2 extra damage in from the last turn.
Well, oh, Gaara's just gonna go for it. Yep, he's like, I need to clear this off right now. Gets the good news. Nothing happened. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
This is a lot like a situation where you're kind of trying to play around the Druid combo every single turn, but it always gets to a point where your opponent just keeps developing his board that at a later stage in the game, you won't be able to play around the Druid combo. So at the very beginning, he should have probably not played around the combo, just assume that his opponent didn't have it. Just like he probably should have assumed that his opponent didn't have the demon in his hand right now.
Okay. So what do you do as follow-up here?
You can try clearing the board even more.
YOLO Grommash.
Yeah, YOLO Gramash and hope your opponent doesn't have anything to do with that. And we haven't seen any Siphon Souls from Kolento, and I believe he use his one BGH in this game already.
Yeah, he used it on the. Oh wait, did he? Oh no, that was last game, right? That was last
Okay.
game. So not yet, not yet.
So I guess you're just afraid of BGH or some kind of burst combo that can kill you right now.
Sure. Dark Iron plus Dark Bomb. That's 5, 6. No, not quite.
Yeah, there's 2 off, but 2 is a pretty large number in Hearthstone, I guess.
Man, still, this is such a weird deck from Kolento. Like, these are just so random cards, you know, like Zombie Chow and whatnot. And it's really weird. But it's
kind
working
of
out.
it kind of makes sense. I feel like this deck is a deck that's particularly good against aggro with the Zombie Chows, the Haunted Creepers, and the
Right.
European Eggs. And also, like, it might be good against like decks that are honest, like Druid, because they don't have a lot that can they don't have a lot of board clears, as you said before. They're very honest.
Did you just call Druid deck honest? I don't think so. They're a cheating deck. You cheat with Wild Growth and Innovate.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Here, Gaara is just looking to clear more stuff, I guess. Just need to draw one of those cards to stabilize the board, really. You know, Get In is good. Alex Straza is good. Even another Shield Maiden is good. It's gonna have to wait until those happen.
Yeah, he's gonna be able.
trade here with
He's gonna be able
Grommash.
to heal for essentially heal for 2 damage every turn. So what Kolento has to do is just outpace that healing before Gaara can draw one of the aforementioned cards. Ooh, Powerful Wellbeing.
Oh, that's a card, and Kolento is gonna take it with like this burst out of nowhere. This deck is just. I would have no idea how to play against this one.
But you have to keep in mind that Gaara took an extra 2 damage from the Defender of Argus that turn he decided not to attack it. And if he
That's
had
true.
attacked it that turn, he would have survived this turn. And
Yep.
possibly taken the game just from Kolento having nothing in his hand.
Okay. Well, that was really fast. Yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, unless the game just stops suddenly, like of an ad. Wait, let me see.
Okay.
All right, so Gar apparently cooed in chat. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gaara
So
didn't
just
even want to
stop
look
there.
at his hand.
It's like, oh, screw it. I don't want to play against that. But like,
Yeah.
isn't it just bad when you lose against a deck 2 times and then you just coup it off? Right? Oh man, that just sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
he said he didn't want to waste time restarting the game, so just like get it out of here. All right.
Yeah, usually this matchup is actually pretty bad for the... Well, I think it's pretty bad for the Shaman player because of the Blade Furries and all the board clears. But Gaara actually has a Power Mace in his hand right now, and I feel like that's a card that's really good against Rogue just because you have the Earthring Farseers and the
SIs.
SI agents. Yeah, exactly. This deals
And
with
what
them
if-
pretty well.
What if Guard draws like a what is that called, the Nullifier right now? Wow, that would be
Yeah.
insanely good. It's one card to win the game.
And Nullifier is like super Spectral Knight, basically, right?
It's super special in that, yeah. Kolento playing Rogue now. Just play this Violet Teacher. I mean, it doesn't really die on board. The Edwin is kind of awkward since it does die on board. Plus, if he makes it super big, it just gets punished by Hex or even an Earthshock. The best turn.
Yeah, I think you have to Valley Teacher, and then Kolento's thinking of what he can prep with. So, oh, he's actually gonna prep and equip his Deadly Poison. Okay. Is either that or just play the Valley Teacher as a 3/5, and it'll probably die the next turn.
So prep effectively just summon two 1/1s, which is not too bad for a 0 mana card.
No.
That's like double Wisp.
Unfortunately, Kolento is like somewhat all in right now. Unless he draws a sprint, his hand is looking fairly anemic.
Gar, on the other hand, doesn't have an insane play this turn either.
He can either Hex or save or use his Rock Butter weapon. And I actually feel in this matchup the Hex is a bit less valuable because there's not many big targets that you can Hex.
Thanos gonna come down here, plus the Edwin for 4. Not the biggest Edwin ever.
Not the
And yeah, I
smallest though.
guess yeah. Kolento is like just hoping for a sprint now, the best rogue card right now, right?
Yeah,
We
that's
saw how
amazing.
sprint was like insanely powerful last in day one.
Yeah, who was it that yesterday that got like sprint every single game? Was it Faramir?
It's dog.
It
It's
was
dog.
Dog. Okay, yeah, against Faramir, and
Yeah, yeah,
Faramir was
yeah.
just shaking his head every single time. It's like,
Every
oh,
single
you got
time.
sprint, you refilled your hand, and then you emptied your hand to kill me. I guess that's game over.
That is game over. There's a mech for Gaara. Play that. You can also play the fire elemental per se, but I think the rock biter on the power mace with the harvest golem is just really really strong. You can also earth shock the Thalnos to deny some draws.
Yeah, the strength of Shaman is just it's able to have these very cheap spells to deal with the opponent. Yeah, I think we're gonna see that exactly that play.
Yeah, that's actually really strong, really smart too.
Oh, he's actually gonna use.
Oh yeah, that's better. What are we? Oh, actually no, he does sacrifice the spider here, but I think
Yeah.
that's better. You don't want to see 40 first.
I guess this is alright because Kolento has a dagger that's 3 attack instead of 1 attack. I think if it were 1 attack, then it might have been better to keep the spider alive and just tank the face damage, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Lotheb is a little bit pesky here, if anything.
Yeah. You can't play Dr. Boom on turn 6, which is always what you want, right?
Well, not if you're shaman. Fire elemental is one of the strongest 6-drops.
That's true. Yeah, Fire Elemental's not bad here either.
Yeah. Well, you do like. Yeah, you do overkill the Lotheb by a lot, but I mean that's really much the only choice. Flame Tongue is just too weak. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you have to play Flurry. You're holding
Yeah.
2 anyways.
I think you have to because the minions on board just trade way too efficiently with the piloted shredder.
And I feel like, yeah, Kolento has run out of steam. Gaara's just gonna keep on playing big threat after big threat. And yeah, no sprint, so it's gonna be very rough.
Well, at least Kolento can kind of combo the SI agent. That's okay, right?
Okay, I guess. Not the best.
I'm trying to be the optimist today here.
Right.
All right, what
Oh.
comes out? Is it
Sure.
Millhouse? Mad Scientist? As far as I know, there are no secrets in the rogue deck.
Really?
Or in the rogue class right now, as far as I know. I hope I'm well informed.
Detective Monk. Alright, just doesn't even care about the math sciences there. Deadly Poison is not gonna do it, and Gaara Best Shaman shows us why he is Gaara Best Shaman. Takes a game with the Shaman.
Yep. Only the best shaman can take a game against rogue, I guess. And now Gaara is left with his shaman and his mage against 2 of Kolento's decks. And Kolento looks to be in very deep thought about. It really depends on who you ask, but with the hand that Gaara has right now, that's probably one of the better hands you could hope for with both the Rock Biter and the Power Mace. Like the mage mech deck is probably consists of all 2-3 minions, like the Snow Chugger, the Mech Warper, and the Rock Biter and the Power Mace are just both so perfect against those cards.
That's right, and yeah. I guess Power Mace was actually a very good introduction to the Shaman class. I mean, back then they only had Stormforged Axe, and nobody plays any 3/2s in Constructed, weirdly enough, right? 3/2s are considered to be the best minions in Arena, but not quite Constructed.
Yeah, they're just so weak to stuff like Backstab or SI Agent. And really the only exceptions are Knife Juggler, which is just so strong on its own, and also Shielded Mini Bot, which has a Divine Shield, right? So it's
not really a 2
yeah, it's not really 2 health, exactly.
Oh, and Pyromancer, but Pyromancer's not a 2-drop, so.
And Pyromancer, a lot of the times, is more than 2 health with the Power Word Shield, right?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, curves out perfectly, and plus he summons a Mechanical Yeti with a Death Rattle on turn 3.
That's pretty good. And also, Gaara also has the anti-heal bot, so I think Gaara is actually super ahead in this. Whoa.
Whoa.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, I guess he's going a bit greedy there.
I guess it also works out for him, right? Because now I can kill the Spire Tank and play the Shredder, and the Shredder gets buffed. It's not that bad.
But if he went for the attack last turn, he would have gotten a 4/5 Yeti, which just trades so perfectly against the Spider Tank.
Yeah, it does. So now the Shredder, even though it's a 6/5, like, it doesn't trade. Oh, that's always really scary.
That's like the card you want as Mech Mage. I feel like in the entire Mech Mage deck, that's like the best card, like the most quote unquote imbalanced card. And that's why when you're facing against Mech Mage, it's so important to keep mechs off the board leading up to turn 4.
It's kind of hard sometimes to keep them out the board too, right? I mean, Kolento had 2 mechs there. Oh, first spare part is the armor plating.
All right. So
armor plating, guys, you guys are currently ahead. All right.
So if there are no more spare parts for the rest of the day, armor plating wins.
Yep, that's right. By the way, guys, if you summon armor plating now and armor plating wins, it's disqualified, guys. Okay, you have to like, it has to be new. Okay, you can't cheat.
Don't cheat, guys.
Yeah, don't cheat. Ooh. Oh wow, Flame Tongue is actually insane here. Wow, Gaara can just clear it off and then hex the 5/5. It's an insane draw.
Yep, there we go. Mirror Entity kind of backfiring a little. I guess like the only time it does backfire is when it summons a Zombie Chow and it actually helps your opponent. But this was probably one of the worst Flame Tongues.
No, I think it was a fine Flame Tongue, to be honest. If you count a Mirror Entity like that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the worst Flame Tongues for Kolento to get.
Oh, for Kolento, okay.
Creatures, yeah.
I was like, what? Yeah.
Ooh, Bomb Lobber.
Bomb Lobber. I like it.
The Bomb Lobster. So now we know, like, because Gaara runs at least one Bomb Lobber, he's essentially running like 3 or 4 Fire Elementals, right?
Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that works, I guess. I guess Bomb Lobber does make sense in Shaman deck, right? I mean, they don't have a lot of good 5-drops. Like Belcher is the only one, so 2 Belchers and 1 Lotheb, I guess.
I guess if he's playing Bob Lobber, maybe he's cutting Azure Drake. That kind of makes sense, right?
Well, even more draw, double Gnomish Inventor.
Yeah, and because he's running double Gnomish Inventor, that leads me more to believe that he's also not running Azure Drake. Because if you don't run Azure Drake, you kind of need some card draw in your deck, and Gnomish Inventor fills that slot pretty well.
Well, here's the actual interesting thing. Like, Gaara has no Crackles or Lightning Bolts drawn. Oh, that's just a 2/1. Okay,
That's fine.
that's scary. I thought that was gonna be pretty disastrous. Taunt Totem is always good. That's 0/3 taunt.
Yeah, against aggro, Taunt Totem is like, so it's like a super armor up essentially, right?
Okay. That took a little time to process, but yeah.
Yeah, instead of tanking for 2 damage, he actually tanked 3 damage for 3 damage right there.
Believe in the RNGesus.
Well, Alakir is going to be pretty good next turn. Not only does it clear some stuff, but it also provides a taunt body.
Double Bomb Lobber.
So for all you Shaman players out there, this is like the innovation that Gaara has right now, and is again self-proclaimed best Shaman player. Maybe this is something cool that you should try out today on ladder. Double Bomb Lobber in Shaman.
And double Gnomish. I mean, yeah, I just love Gaara's decks. He always brings something new. I remember back in like M House, he would bring the most greedy priest ever, and then people weren't expecting that. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And even in his first win, Droomhack Bucharest, he brought like this Ramp Druid that had double Sunwalker. It had
a healing touch.
Yeah, healing touch. It had a Faceless Manipulator plus Mark for the Wild combo. That was a crazy deck, remember?
That was back way then when Ramp Druid was unheard of. Yeah. All right. Oh wow! So many 5-drops. That is insane.
Well,
oh, you are not gonna kill Gaara with double heal bar, Mr. Kolento.
Oh.
Okay, okay, maybe. Okay, oh my god, we spoke too soon.
I guess that's good for. I'm not sure. It's probably better for Kolento, to be honest.
No, you don't say.
Yeah, I don't say.
Really? Oh my god.
And now Gaara has to think about, does he want to give up the Gnomish Inventor? Is the average card that he can draw off the Gnomish Inventor better than the body of the Gnomish Inventor, basically?
He goes with yes. And oh man. Gaara still left with 2/1/1s though, and oh, that's not a good top deck. But you know, it might alter the giveaway a little bit.
Some would say it's a bottom deck.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, Kolento thinks he's actually, you know, drawing to like burn spell or whatnot, but little does he know. Wow, not even scared. Not
Whoa.
even scared. Gaara is like, I'm just gonna get some Murlocs here.
I guess like unless Kolento runs Pyroblast, there's no single card that can kill Gaara next turn.
True.
And this with the Neptulon play, it just allows him to kill his opponent faster. So Kolento will have less opportunity to draw into those like fireballs. Plus, it deals with Dr. Boom very well.
That's true. Oh, by the way, guys, Whirling Blades is now the new giveaway. Let's just keep track of that. Dr. Boom is one of the top decks, except instead of a bottom deck, and he's gonna kill this pesky 1/1.
Yep.
And,
Looks like ooh, Earthshock even.
yeah, so much for killing your opponent faster. You gotta trade now.
It's still good though. Like if he didn't play the Doctor, or if he didn't play Neptulon the last turn, he would have had a much more difficult time dealing with the Dr. Boom.
That's true. So good play by Gaara. I'm gonna try and clean the board up as much as possible. I'm pretty sure these colas are never gonna see play. They help your opponent way too much.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So he wants to preserve the Murlocs, or he wants to preserve the Neptulon and just trades away the Murlocs.
Ooh.
Two amazing top decks in a row. Unfortunately, this Archmage Antonidas is just going to die to the Neptulon. Another reason Neptulon was a good play. If he didn't play Neptulon, an Archmage Antonidas would have been more difficult to deal with.
Oh man, imagine if that was a stealth spare part. That would have been just insane. But yeah, it's not looking too good for Kolento right now. Facing 10 damage on the board. Pretty awkward.
If I had to like play this giveaway strategically, I'd probably say something like either the stealth, which kind of ends the game more than the other cards or the other spare parts.
Okay.
Or Whirling Blades, which kind of like it allows you to get the lethal hit, right?
Sure. But now you owe me 40 packs, Monk, because that didn't.
Whoa, that was not the agreement we agreed on.
Oh man, if actually Kolento hit 4 on the Neptulon, that would have been perfect. But that was not the case, and now it's just Kolento's just gonna dive slowly. Yeah. It's basically what it is.
The Mech Mage pretty much tops out at Dr. Boom and Antonidas, so after this Antonidas dies, there's not going to be much that Kolento can draw. Gaara might...
The second NT bot from Gaara actually helps a lot. Right? Yeah. Does help a lot.
Yeah, and Kolento hasn't even seen it, so from his perspective, he still thinks he might have some hope.
That's true. Another burn spell, 9 damage in hand right now. All Kolento needs to do is to draw a fireball, and it's like, yes! Well, okay,
Yeah.
Kolento doesn't, yes, he's just, you know, the stone face, the stone cold face.
Stone Face Killer is Kolento, of course.
No mercy. But not this game.
Yeah, so just
Go for it.
chuck some stuff at Gaara's face. See what lands, and hope for the best. The real question now is, will Kolento instantly concede once Gaara reveals his second anti-kill bot?
I think you do. I mean, come on.
And
Okay,
you know,
think about-
Gaara's, I think he's considering whether he wants to reveal the anti-kill bot, maybe?
no.
I think you have to, because there's a second
No.
deck.
Yeah, let's not be too cute here.
Or I guess he was considering whether he wanted to reveal the second power mace. That's probably way more likely.
And nope, that is not gonna do it. And Gaara ties up the series. Oh man.
Yeah, what looked like a really bad start from Gaara, where he lost 2 games to the Demon Lock and then had to coup the Demon Lock, and now it's actually looking pretty even, and we're gonna see either Shaman or the Mage from Gaara against Kolento's Druid. I'm
Yeah.
playing if he's playing an aggressive Druid, those are like the Cenarius and Doctor Boom are the top two, the top curve of the Druid deck, and then Savage Roar is just like a super situational card, but he's actually gonna play it. Wow.
He's just gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So effectively, Kolento banned out the mage, right? If you think about it that way, because if Kolento wins right now, it's just gonna auto ban the mage. So yeah, Kolento just needs hopefully a few plays here, because all of these cards are just not what you want to see.
Yeah. Guard doesn't have the best hand, I would say. He might have wanted
Really?
like a Haunted Creeper on turn 2, but I would say, okay, with the Gnomish Adventure draw, that's actually pretty good now.
To be honest, I think I would love. I love seeing double hex against the druid. I think it's just so good.
Yeah, I think 1 hex is alright, but if you don't have if you have like a lot of situational cards in your hand, like double hexes, double earth shocks, double rockbiter weapons, you can lead to like a game where you never play anything and you never develop your board against druid, which is generally pretty terrible.
Yeah, sure. But right now, of course, Guard does have a coin 4-drop, and follow that with another 4-drop next turn. He can also choose the Lightning Storm and kill the Shade off in, just with the Spell Power Totem, of course. So I guess deciding which 4-drop to play here. Goes with the Shredder. Just a bit more sticky. Sticky minions are always really, really good.
Yeah, I like the Shredder because even if the Shade trades into the Shredder, you're still not too happy about it because your opponent's Shade was just turned into like a vanilla 3/3, and that's not bad at all.
Kolento decides to develop as well because if he rafts, then he can't play any minions. So that's basically not the best. Wow! Is Guard playing 40 cards? I always think that Guards is playing 40 card decks. You know, it's just like, this is completely new that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, Piloted Sky Golem, interesting. I've seen a lot of Chinese players have begun using Piloted Sky Golem in Shaman, and it's kind of awkward and kind of weird because Pilot Sky Golem is a 6-drop, and the 6-drop slot is so good for Shaman with the Fire Elemental, but somehow Gaara can fit it in, I guess.
Alright, Kolento's gonna try and hope for a very bad minion here to pop out, and oh! That's actually one of the best ones to come out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gaara.
maybe not for Gaara, right? Because he has a lot of card draw, I guess, but still pretty good for Flame Tongue value, right?
Gaara, his expression was like one of, I guess, annoyance even. But I think that is a pretty good card for Shaman, especially because there's so many ways for Shaman to buff it, right? Flame Tongue,
Yeah.
Argus. Actually, you know what? Have we seen Argus in Gaara's deck yet?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
he might not even have Argus in the deck.
Well, he's playing a 40 card deck, so he might have it. I'm
Okay,
not really sure.
fair enough, fair enough.
Alright, Kolento's gonna decide to poke the Pagel. He's actually through threatening, and Fish!
Ha, caught one. All right,
Fish
Gaara
is
seems pretty
actually
happy now.
Wow, that was fast! Gaara turned from like annoyance to happiness. Just like that.
Haunted Creeper, one of the better draws he could draw. We haven't seen Feral Spirits in this deck, actually. And it makes sense since if you run the Harvest Golems and Power Mace together, then then the Feral Spirits at the 3-drop slot is probably something that you cut.
I'm still trying to imagine a Skittles getting fished up. So,
Oh, yeah.
Alright, Raffing here to kill the spider, swiping the Pagel. I guess if Kolento did actually hit the spell power, he would have cleared the board, but...
Yeah, that was so sad, wrathing a Haunted Creeper.
Oh,
so
I
much
did not
value.
expect this play though. I would have just expected Sky Golem was so strong, right?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh.
I guess maybe he's setting up for I don't like the positioning here. I prefer like the Haunted Creeper on the left a bit more.
Same.
Yeah.
Alright, drawing
Okay.
2 cards, but Bomb Lobber has a special delivery for a tree.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bomb
that's
Lobber. He's gonna develop more totems. Healing
Right.
totem maybe? Taunt's not
Pinnacle
bad.
would have been perfect, but like right now Kolento is in a very, very bad spot. I mean, sure you can swipe, but what's your follow up? if you play a creature, then you can only play one creature as well. So just man. Oh man, Druid versus Shaman is just so bad for the Druid. So bad.
Well, it's bad for the Druid if you don't draw Wild Growth or Innervate
Uh-huh.
on the first few turns. Kolento, of course, does have a Wild Growth now, but yeah, really, what's that going to do, Hugh? Imagine if Kolento had one more mana. If he got his Wild Growth early on or sometime within the past few turns, he would
Would've
have
been
like
good.
yeah, he would have actually been back in this game. He would have had a really good play and swipe plus either of his 5 drops.
To be honest, I think the play here is just to use the swipe, hero power, and then just also use the wild growth, so you can do double 5 drops. But Kolento instead sets up for a good swipe turn and also develop something. We'll get punished by Hex here. I'm pretty sure.
You know, one thing that Kolento could draw to bring him back into the game is an Azure Drake. If he Azure Drake swipes on turn 9, then that's like pretty
Good.
much one of the best plays you can make in Druid.
But man, still, even if you do that, look at Gaara's hand. It's just so stacked. Wow. Decided to allocate instead here.
I think you have to either Alakir or Hex that, and I guess this is the choice you feel less bad about.
It does also make sense because next turn you have the Hex plus the Sky Golem. This isn't too... Yeah, it's not too much of a big deal. Guess you think about the spell power swipe and you go like, yep, I'll just keep the Alakir healthy. Oh, that's not a good card.
Yeah, second Wild Growth right on time, right?
At turn 9. Worst draw possible.
Yeah, again, well, like, what are you gonna swipe here, right? You can't swipe and hero power without, like, you can't swipe plus hero power plus develop something, unless you're developing like a big game hunter, right?
But you know your opponent plays Neptulon. You just saw it.
Exactly. You could also consider comboing.
Oh no, that's so gross. That taunt totem soaks up 4 damage, or maybe 2 damage, but the Alakir soaks up another 4. Oh, this is just bad. Odd numbers are always bad for druids. I think they don't work odd numbers.
Yeah, where's that second Innervate plus second Force of, or second Savage War plus 1 more extra mana when you need it, right? For the double combo to clear this board. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's in between.
Wow, that's really nice.
Oh man, but still looking very, very brutal right now. Still for Kolento. Bomb Lobber's gonna kill this right off. 4 mana means that there's a Shredder coming out. Although Gaara might be thinking about the super combo play now, right? Kolento has so many cards he's holding, and yeah, these plays has been less than efficient, I guess. Oh, just gonna trade it off and develop the Sky Golem instead. I like that.
Yeah, there's not much ways you can play around a super combo at this point, but maybe in a future turn.
Kolento's gonna look for more answers here. Don't know what he has to look for.
What answers can you hope for against the pilot?
I don't know.
Especially after you've used 2 swipes and you used like one Druid of the Claw to charge into something. Nothing else you really have does 4 damage. You can Wrath and hero power into it, but then you're taking 6 anyway.
Like even if both of the Kolento's bombs go to Gaara's face for 4, he has 2 anti-heal bots. Wow, the power of anti-heal bot in Shaman. I like this deck.
Yeah. Probably gonna. A lot of people are probably gonna steal it. You've seen like
Oh, not
it might even
use it.
use it. Okay, I guess that's the proper terminology.
Right.
Borrow it, maybe.
Bar, and then change one card and go like, yeah, guys, I leveled to legend. Proof on Reddit, you know.
Yeah, this is my deck. This is like the monk deck.
Yeah.
Everyone better give me credit if you use this exact list. Oh, he's actually gonna trade. Okay.
Whoa. Ooh, that is always really scary.
Yeah, that's really risky. I mean, I guess we forgot about when we talked about cards that could do 4 damage in Druid. We kind of forgot about boom bots, right?
Right.
Okay, that's good.
Wow.
Wait.
Gaara's gonna hex this and kill it off. I guess he's also he's definitely thinking about the double combo. You know, like otherwise he wouldn't be making like this play.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think I like that. I think I like that.
How far ahead is he really though? Like after this piloted shredder gets dealt with, then he has like 2 anti-kill bots, and that's really not pressure to go off of, right?
That's true. Well, we'll see what happens with the Sky Golem here.
Okay.
Oh, that's dead.
Not very good.
A 5 health creature would have survived, but
and look, here's a full board clear.
yeah, it seems like Gaara's hand suddenly just got a lot worse because they're all like, you know, utility cards. And that's not what he needs right now. He needs big creatures.
Yeah, and not only that, if Kolento draws into like another 5-drop, then he can play Sludge Belcher plus 5. Oh, speaking of 5 drops.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good prediction there.
Yeah, he can play both the 5-drops, and then what is Gaara gonna deal? How is Gaara gonna deal with that, right? He has to like hex the Sludge Belcher probably.
Has the Belcher, hit it, and then the Shredder trades. Ooh, more options.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good draw.
Sweet. Well, is it?
Is it?
Not yet. Actually, you do use the Flame Tongue, right? Well,
You can
it's
use
just-
the Flame Tongue to help you clear the rest of the Belcher. But I really do think you hex the Belcher at this point. Like, you want to get some value off of the Power Mace Death Rattle,
Sure.
but you can't do so unless you hex the Belcher. And I'm assuming a mech doesn't drop out of the piloted shredder, of course.
Well, no. If you hex the Belcher and use the Shredder to hit it, and then the Power Mace plus the Stoneclaw Totem trades for the Azure Drake, that's pretty good. Preserves the
It's
most
good.
health.
It's good, but it also plays into BGH. Like the shredder will go up to 8 attack.
Oh, you're right. So, oh man, I guess because you got the healing totem, you just might as well get the value there, right? I like that.
Yeah, I like the sequence of plays.
But still, the BG is gonna have a little surprise for Gaara.
So we're definitely gonna see BGH, I feel. Does Kolento feel comfortable enough to play the Ancient of Lore as well? I like the Zombie Chow plus Druid of the Claw better. It's a bit more defensive, and the Zombie Chow is just really good against all these totems on the board.
Yeah, it's
Plus-
a totem stone. Oh,
Yeah.
not quite then. Colento's gonna fish for a card here. Oh, gets a refund. It's like, yep.
Well, Ancient of Lore?
Whoa. I guess you really want to save the BGH for Neptulon. Right? Like, why else would you save the BGH if not for that? To be honest, Ancient of Lore is not the worst here. I mean, like, if the both of the totems trade into it, it still doesn't die. And wow, Sinar is gonna see draw here, so that's gonna be pretty important.
For no one.
So right now, if by this set of plays, okay, Kolento's deciding whether he wants to use Zombie Chow or Shade. But with this series of plays, Kolento's basically saying, I don't think you can kill me in the next few turns.
Right.
Even though there's 10 damage showing on board. And wow, another Power Mace.
So much damage, but not quite. Like, I guess the Power Mace is not bad here. But then you have to kill your Taunt Totem, and you really like your Taunt Totem.
You can also, if you use the anti-kill bot this turn, next to the left of the Flame Tongue, you can get your piloted shredder kind of out of BGH range. But if they
Okay.
kill like the anti-kill bot somehow anyway, then it goes back into BGH range.
Right, of course. How do you like going all YOLO face here?
I like that.
Oh.
I think
You like that?
with
Really?
yeah, I actually like that because, or actually, I kind of like Power Mace trading into the to the 2/3, but I like going face with everything else.
Yeah, actually, training for the 2/3 is pretty good, and then all face. Yeah,
Just
because right
because
now with this play, you lose the Taunt Totem.
and you lose some damage on board. Whereas like this 2/3 does so much for you, right? Or this 2/3 does so much for Kolento. Like the 2/3 right now, it can trade into the Pilot Shredder.
But yeah, Gaara does exactly that. He's gonna shift that in just to dodge the possible BGH. And now, over Kolento's side, this is another. Actually, you know what? Gaara's play is actually fine because the Flame Tongue actually shifted to the Healing Totem, right? So he actually gets the same amount of damage in. So I think that's fine. Might have been better too. Who knows? Is there a way to survive this? So wait, you can do Cenarius, buff the Zombie Chow, hit the antique heal bar, and then BGH and hope for something. No, you can't. You're still dead. Well, unless the Doomsayer comes out. But oh, okay? How about you charge the Druid of the Claw, kill the Flame Tongue, and no, that doesn't. Yeah, man, nothing works here. Is that it?
If you let's say, what if you charge the Druid into the heal bot, and then BGH?
But you still deal with the guy that comes up back up with the oh my god, Kolento needs to think fast.
I think there's a way to survive if the creature that comes out of the Shredder is 0 attack. Yeah, if you do this, and then BGH, and if it's 0 attack,
Time. No, it's so much attack.
that's not 0 attack.
That's not. Oh wait, well, actually, he's still alive. He's still alive. He's
Yeah.
still alive. He has heal power. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So Gaara's 1 damage off. Hey, he forgot to attack the Searing Totem. No.
I think he just ran out of time there, actually.
Yeah, that was too close for comfort. Damn. Okay. So attacking the BGH here doesn't even lose any damage. Gaara's gonna continue to swarm the board here. I think he's just gonna go all in at this point because your opponent is a Druid anyways, right? So just play the antique heal bot as well. You might as well buff the Harvest Column.
It's a bit.
So I guess you attack
stickier.
first and then play the antique.
I actually think you buff the Antique because it's less vulnerable to silence, to a keeper.
No, sure. Yeah, that makes sense too.
And you've already seen one BGH, right? So
Right,
you're not really
so-
scared of the other one. Or you probably don't think there's a second BGH.
Yeah, now this is it. Yeah, don't see a way Kolento can get out of this one. Wow, Kolento's actually gonna drop 3 games in a row to Gaara's best shaman. That is not something I expected.
Yeah, so far this might be the most successful shaman ever in GVG in terms of tournament play, going 3-0 in a tournament.
Never seen something like that. Wow, very nice, Gaara. And I mean, Kolento's demon deck also went undefeated. It just got banned out. So
Yeah, so
yeah,